was in the grocery store last night doing some shopping, and it just hit me because years ago we were really struggling to put food on the table, and now my daughters are grown, and I'm just thinking, what in the world are people doing nowadays? What are they doing when they have young kids? And the prices are just insane now. The prices on food have skyrocketed, but the salaries and the pay wages haven't. It just makes me sad to think what people are going through just to try to put food on the table. Horrible.
Parents are skipping meals to feed their kids because wages don't give enough for the rising cost of fucking living and the prices of food these days. I'm honestly so sorry that this is happening to you, and there are so many people out there that are struggling as well. The sad truth is, it's not going to get any better, it's going to get worse. And I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, find a way to make more money and start growing your own veggies and do everything you can, pretty much just to survive now. It's like the fucking Hunger Games. May the odds be ever in your favor.
Within the last few years, I'll just give you the thumbnail. 80% of Americans say they have felt a notable increase in the cost of groceries. More than a quarter of respondents, 27%, who've noticed an increase in grocery costs, say they occasionally skip meals because of the expense. They skip freaking meals. In the United States of America, we have neighbors who are skipping meals that didn't happen before. Nearly a third of respondents, 32%, say they spend more than 60% of their monthly income on essential expenses, such as groceries, bills, and rent. Don't tell me it's a nail biter. Don't tell me this is neck and neck. Don't tell me it's going to come down to the wire. I don't know. We might have a photo finish. For the love of all that is holy, can anybody just freaking for once tell the truth?
Every time Americans walk into a grocery store, it feels like the prices have jumped again. Parents are literally skipping meals just so their kids can eat. The cost of living is out of control. Inflation is sky high, and wages haven't moved an inch. Families are doing everything right, yet every grocery trip feels like a financial attack. This is not normal, and Americans are tired. Let's get to see the reactions, then you come back with commentary.
So I know inflation is getting everybody, but I just came out the supermarket, and this is out of control. $5.99 a pound for turkey.
I spent $100 and it's just me and my husband. I'm like, how are people affording to feed their kids and their family? Oh my God. I spent $100 in just this. This is not a lot for $100. It's so crazy how everything's just so expensive now. Oh my God. And I don't even have kids yet.
I'm sitting here in the grocery store parking lot trying to muster up some strength to get some groceries because it's going to cost pretty much double whatever it cost last week. It's terrible. What are American families doing?
You know it's gotta be bad if every fucking time you go grocery shopping it causes you to think about this shit. I need somebody to show me where this land of the free and home of the brave is, because all I'm fucking seeing is land of the fucking greed and home of the slaves. They want you out here voluntarily giving up 80 to 85% of your life, your time, every week just to fucking survive, just to make bare minimum. There is nowhere to live for freeze. Nowhere. Where the fuck is this land of the freeze at, for one? I want to know. I mean, God forbid if anything happens to my parents and they leave me a place to live, I still gotta pay fucking taxes on the land and the house every fucking year that it is in my possession. Not once, but every fucking year. If that doesn't scream class maintenance, I don't know what the fuck else does. Like, if y'all ain't realizing what the taxes really are doing, I can't help you, because that's exactly what it is. It is a way for the government and the people in power to keep you in fucking place and to keep their boot on your fucking neck. Meanwhile, they're exempt from paying these taxes. They they fit into this magical criteria that exempts them from having to pay these taxes. But us broke bitches and poor people that can't even afford to barely pay for fucking tampons can't be exempt from these taxes. Make it make fucking sense. Again, they want you to give up your life, 80 to 85% of your life and your time. Give it away. Because I need you to add up the amount of time you're at home, and you can't count sleeping. And then come back to this fucking post and tell me you're not giving away 80% of your fucking life. This ain't life. These millionaires ain't giving up. No, they're on vacation. They're on trips every other week. What the fuck's going on? Where's this land of the free, home of the brave? We're just a bunch of fucking slaves. We're a bunch of fucking slaves. If you pay taxes, you're a fucking slave. And it worked. It worked for the longest fucking time. They had people convinced that that's life. That's what you need to do, is be indoctrinated into the system, get you a good 9 to 5, and work until you about break a fucking hip. Until it didn't. Until it stopped working. And you know, it's sad. Because here we are at the end of 2025. Groceries are still outrageous. Ain't nothing been great again. Ain't nothing made great again. Ain't nothing changed. And I can't go get damn grocery shopping one time without thinking about this shit. Without going into a rant about how bad things are right now with our government and our economy. That's fucking sad.
I used to not eat for a week just so I could afford food the next week when my kid came to me from his dad's house. For a year, I lived like that. And people would be like, oh, you're so skinny. No, I'm poor. I was working for LPS. I was a para. I was also a cocktail waitress at night, trying to make some extra money on the weeks I didn't have my kid. And I lived like that for a year because I was drowning in life so hard that I didn't even know that SNAP was gonna be able to be something that could help me. On top of, my mom would shame people that were on it. So I really just thought, like, oh, that's not for me. I'm not supposed to do that. But let me tell you that the moment, when I got SNAP, that changed everything. I was on SNAP until I actually had to get a third job because even with SNAP and my 2 jobs, it wasn't enough. So I got a third job. I was posting secondhand clothes on eBay for a company for very little pay, but it was something. So I would do that late into the night. And when I did that, I then made 10 cents too much to get SNAP. So, slay. I was hoping I wouldn't cry, but mostly what I want to say is during this time, do not ask people if they need help. Don't say, oh, what can I do for you? Just do it. I have a list of single mom friends that I'm going to be making crock pot soups every week. SNAP accounts for about 1.5% of our federal budget. They're just being cruel, y'all. 1.5% of our budget. So if you were someone who was like, oh wow, we're going into a time where we really need to lean into community, this is happening right now.
Here is a sad truth. Americans are not just frustrated, they are exhausted. And not because they are careless with money, but because the system keeps squeezing them tighter and tighter. Groceries, something as basic and essential as food, has now become a luxury for many families. Parents are standing in the aisles, doing math in their heads, deciding what to put back, what to sacrifice, what their families can survive without. A lot of moms and dads won't say it loud, but they feel ashamed that the money they worked for all week still can't cover basic necessities. And what's even more heartbreaking is that many of them skip breakfast, skip lunch, and pretend they're not hungry at dinner time, just so their kids can go to bed with full stomachs. This is America people want about. An America where working full-time is no longer enough. An America where inflation keeps climbing, but wages are frozen in place. Families can't budget their way out of this because the problem is bigger than budgeting. The problem is that everything around them keeps going up, expect their income. And while big corporations report record profit year after year, ordinary people are fighting just to afford eggs, milk, and bread in one of the richest countries on earth. Basic groceries are becoming unaffordable. People are cutting back on fresh food because it's too expensive. They are buying cheaper, less healthy options because that's all their budget allows. This isn't just an economic crisis, it's a health crisis, a mental health crisis, a dignity crisis. Families shouldn't have to sacrifice their nutrition to survive. They shouldn't have to work multiple jobs just to afford groceries. And they definitely shouldn't have to choose paying rent, keeping the lights on, or feeding their kids. Something is deeply broken, and the people living through it feel like no one is listening. If the cost of living keeps rising while wages stay the same, then more families will fall into hunger, more parents will sacrifice their meal, and more communities will struggle to survive. This is why people are calling for real change, not temporary political speeches, not fake promises, but actual action to bring prices down and relief to households across the country. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.